Jack Sparrow, that evil twin of mine. Good morning. Let's hear it again. Good morning. Okay, you don't have to show off. You got powerful lungs. I got it. Well, this is a wonderful day. It's a very special day. And in our world, we wake up every morning and we do this ritual to celebrate good morning. Do you know why we do that? That's because all my mates are sleeping next to me and I have to wake them up. It's not that spiritual, by the way. Anyway, I'm Captain Jack Sparrow, not Sparrow, because I was the one that was left behind by Black Pearl. And the reason why I'm here today is because I struck a deal with the school. They told me that someone in the crowd would know how to get me to Black Pearl. So I have offered to talk a little bit about myself so that I can get to that Black Pearl. I had a map. You know, I was left behind somewhere in Trinidad, I think, or maybe Costa Rica. But I had a map, and I was trying to make my way back. But somehow, it didn't quite work out because I sneezed one day. And guess what happened to the map? It was in my back pocket. Yeah, I had food poisoning that day too, so I had to go somewhere. So, the person was kind enough to say, you just sat on the fudge. So I can't use that map anymore. So ever since then, I've been hitchhiking. If you don't mind my stand outside here, because I feel rather naked behind this podium, especially with this garb. So I'm searching for the clues to my Black Pearl. You know, and I was wandering across this vast country, and I came across McDonald's. They seem to be everywhere, every 2 blocks. And I thought, oh, McDonald's. Yeah, the Scottish clan. They're the ones that came out with haggis, sheep's stomach with blood, flour, whatever they can put in there. I thought, you know what? I know the McDonald's, they are honest people. Maybe they can give me directions. So I walked in there, and lo and behold, nobody was wearing a kilt. And I was asking them, excuse me, sir, but do you know you have cobwebs in your hair? And he said, yeah, that's a hairnet. I said, okay. So, and I asked, well, how can I get around to find Black Pearl? And they looked at me. Does that mean you want to supersize your meal? So I got nowhere with them. So the next place I started seeing around me was Burger King. I thought to myself, King of the Birds of Germany. They taxed everybody on the Rhine. I said, maybe I can get some answers because I've been down the Rhine many times. And sure enough, I went in there and I saw all these characters. I think they lost the recipe to different personalities because everybody looked the same and they all talked the same. So eventually, I made my way to Wendy's. And I thought, oh, maybe I can find somebody that I know a few Wendy's in my life. You know? And I walked in. And I was screaming, running out, because I saw this picture of this girl with pigtails and freckles just staring at me wherever I went. So that didn't work out. So eventually somebody told me, hey, maybe you should go to Japhet. It's the school of character. I thought, I've done a few characters in my life. I've hired a few characters in my life. I've walked a few characters down the plank in my life. So as I was walking in, somebody yelled out, hey, I really like your costume. You're one bad apple. Well, that's not a precise word, by the way. I said, bad apple? I said, son, the last time I used that language was to scold my donkey that wasn't pulling my cart. So, I've never done this before. I've never been in front of a crowd asking for directions. And this is going to be interesting. So I'm going to ask for some participation. Oh, hi. I didn't see you next to me. My hair got in the way. Pulled over my ribs. How are you? I like that colored tee you got there. You don't have it in my where I come from. You're going to be the next pirate. I like your hair. So any of your participation, I have nothing to say to you. Be dismissed if you want. But maybe you can throw 3 words out at me. Any 3 words. Inspiring. Griffin, do you have a funny story? I know you got one for a school bus. I heard from my evil twin yesterday. You couldn't help yourself and say, I have a funny story. Jordan. Okay. Silence, silence, and silence. That would be the 3 words. Thank you. Really not. So, as pirates, we always start out when we're little teeny ones, like first grade, second grade, where we have this dream. We're playing in our bathtub. We say, hey, you know what? There's a lot of water out there. Why don't I move myself up from the bathtub to the river? So you go to the river, you decide to make yourself a little floaty, or whatever you decide, and you go, hey, you know what? I think I'm done with this river. Why don't I move to a bigger lake? So from there, you go to a bigger lake, and before you know it, you're 14 years old in the ocean. You've been conscripted on a boat called the Black Pearl, like me. But along the way, you notice that with each time you move up, the waves get bigger. The waves get more daunting. And just like in life, when we graduate from grade school to high school to college to being a family person, to being a grandfather, we encounter the waves. The waves get bigger and bigger and bigger. What do you think? As the waves get bigger and bigger, it feels like we have to supercharge ourselves to be that superhuman, to overcome, to make it across to that greener pastures. I don't know about you, but it sounds like a recipe for exhaustion just thinking about it. I'm glad you're sitting down, because I am too, you know. But it almost feels like we're running a marathon with our nose being pinched close. And it's almost like we know that we're running out of air. We're running out of energy. We're running out of a sense of ourselves as we go red in the face, going for the next obstacle, whatever it is, our career, our jobs, our family. But it feels like we're running out of oxygen. However, there's another way of going about it. We can run that marathon by simply unpinching our nose. And that unpinching can only come when we experience a filling out of ourselves. It's called being.
So the secret in tackling the long marathon obstacles in life is really to do less. To do less in a way that is meaningless, but to be, to feel your passion, to be in your conviction, to be in your inner truth. When I was 14, I had to be. There was no such thing as raise the sail. If I didn't raise the sail, I was swimming with the dolphins. So my initiation required me to be. And in being, we give ourselves the oxygen to our doing. We free ourselves from the mindless doing. We free ourselves from the mindless chasing. And it's almost like when you're doing without being, it's like a man who's cold and he's just putting on more and more coats. I'll never hike because he's just going to be cold. But in being, it's like a powerhouse of heat that is emanating out of the person. We are creating a sense of meaning for themselves. So, rather than become happy in pursuing the next car, the next girlfriend, the next boyfriend, the next smartphone,
Naomi will have an intervention after this.
Simply be happy. And in the 3 words that was prophetically given to me by this crowd, it's in your silence and your stillness that you can feel the essence of your being. And with that, I would like to give a little gift to the graduation class. A visual symbol of being. A place that can never be shaken no matter what the storm is like, no matter how many obstacles come in the way. It's a place that keeps your eyes focused on the prize, in spite of the obstacles and the storm whipping right in front of you. And that is the place of being true. That is the black pearl that is within you, waiting for the winds of life to move in.
Before I hand out these gifts, I'd like to read a little poem. Since Naomi told me she was a poet, I had to come up with one at 12:30 last night.
Thank you, Naomi. And this is the poetry. Do less, be more, for without soul, you won't hear the world has been conspiring to let you in. As part of this brilliant plan to reveal the brilliance in yours. So, make friends with yourself. And the brilliance in life reveals itself starting from within. Oh, by the way, this is my black pearl right there. It's this leaf that is scooting across the river, and the other leaves are stuck in some extension of river. But with this leaf standing upright is our being. It acts as a sail to catch the winds of our blissful fancy, and our true strength, and our true sense of who we are. And we can create a path and live our lives separately. That's it. Another joke.
And if you know where Blackpool is, I would be glad to have a ride. I'll share with you my rum. I just can't promise you it hasn't been through my kidneys. Thank you. By the way.
Okay. Next, I'd like to invite Katya to introduce our alumnus speaker. Thank you, Katya.
When I think of Miss Johnson, I think of a wonderful actress and singer. Over the years, she has helped us with singing for our performances. Her favorite things are scones, coffee, Mexican food, and spending time in northern Michigan. Miss Johnson attended Japhet as a student and gained her love of performing on the stage. She is married and has 2 children. Miss Johnson is full of joy. She shares her joy with others in all that she does, acting, singing, parenting, and even while working. Please join me in welcoming Miss Lisa Johnson.